It's me. Hi everyone! Welcome to Ife and OKEY'S Love Channel.
We're here to enlighten lives and uplift souls with our love story.
Because God is love and love is God. So when you have love, you have God. I remain your humble actor, Mr. Okechukwu Madwanusi, and the CEO and founder of Arts Universe Studios.
And I'm Ife Oluwa Madwanusi, a tech consultant and CEO and founder of Ife City.
Today we're talking about the wait and the preparation during the wait. I will start by saying this: never settle for less. No matter whatever you're looking for in life, be it in line of career, I applied the same technique in my career, and I applied it during my time of waiting to find the right partner. And I never settled for less. Live a life of no buts, and always consider any option that has but in it. So once this is your preferred option, but there is a but, oh, this is good, but I will advise you to keep the searching on. I tell people to always broaden their search, because the farther you search, the higher is the opportunity for you in finding the right one or the right partner to do life with unto eternity or to a good old age. So during my time of waiting, I always have this discussion with my friends, male friends, and I told them something they always disagree with, because we are always here in Lagos where we normally do our movie shoots, and we hear a lot of these guys saying there is no more good girl in Lagos. Those days people will go to the village and pick up a girl and marry, but even these days the village girls are more spoiled than the Lagos girls. I'm like, if we men say this, we should also know that women, I believe, would also be saying such things, because society has made it look like searching for a life partner is one-sided. It's not only female that search. I believe men also search, because I remember a friend of mine, a male, saying, whenever I want to marry, just go there and pick up a girl. My own is just to pick up a girl. But for me, I've always believed that when it comes to finding a life partner, it's not just going out there and picking up someone. Because everything that happens or transpires in the society at large starts from a family. I believe if we address the situations of raising good families, that takes me to saying that I've always believed in the perspective that we are all humans. We all exist as humans before gender came in. Because every character you see in a man, you will also see the same in a woman. So I think that where we get it all wrong, especially in finding a life partner, is when we think that a particular gender has an upper hand in marriage or in relationship in general. But honestly, we are all human beings seeking for fulfillment in one another, because no man is an island.
Absolutely.
So everything I've said now is just telling you the thoughts that went through my mind and my head while I was waiting. I was preparing myself. Because one truth I will say is that from my personal experience during the wait is, go to your mirror, stand before that mirror and ask yourself a question: can I marry myself? If I was the opposite gender, can I marry myself? And if I do, will I be happy with myself? Because some of us go around looking for what we don't have. You can't attract what you don't have. But when you work on yourself, to the point of the character, the content of the character you're looking for in your opposite sex, believe you me, you will attract the person. You will attract the person. But let us not also forget the place of prayer in this period of waiting for the right partner.
For me, as some of us here know, I started my journey way back in like 2016 actually. That was when God spoke to me about my life and my life partner, and I had a huge encounter with God, and it was massive. Fast forward to 2020, COVID is happening, and Black Lives Matter is happening, and then NSARS is happening. There's so much going on in the world. God just led me into a moment of fasting and prayer, and it was around June or so that God led me into that fasting and prayer. And I was also led to post this online at that point too, and to gather up like people that wanted to pray with me. And so that's how kind of like my journey started. I prayed to God and said, you know what, God, use me for your glory. Use me for whatever it is you want. I'm ready to be used. And that night I got a dream. And in the dream, I just saw myself in multiple spaces, just like winning and thriving and, you know, just doing the work of God that God put on me, and fulfilling my purpose. And I was like, wow. So all of that kind of just led me into this journey with God. And then it's during that time I started, you know, praying for my life partner more. And it was in 2019 that I started praying more for my life partner. And fast forward to now, and here we are. So what I would just say is God led me through a process of healing myself and being more self-aware. I was in a relationship at a point that ended pretty badly. And also I ended it actually, but I ended it without even knowing I had ended things properly, because when, you know, we tried it again, it just didn't work out. But God just led me through that process of ending it, because he said this man was not the right man for you, and so you need to move on and you need to start to discover yourself. That happened sometime in 2019, and after that I just didn't get into another relationship. So for me, I went into a process of just getting to know myself more, of just loving myself, being more self-aware, understanding why I acted the way that I did, understanding my triggers, healing my childhood, pains and hurt from the past, and just nurturing my child, the child inside of me that wasn't nurtured for so long. So I was able to find out things that affected me and how to release myself from them as well, with the help of the Holy Spirit. And all of those things, a lot of them were like really painful things to go through, because it meant that I had to really confront my like toxic traits. It meant that I had to confront my child. It meant that I had to confront the child in me. And it just meant that I had to really be truthful to myself to be able to move past that, And so for me, it was like a really, really painful time. But like I also got out of it really wholesome. And I got out of it, like I moved on to the other side. And through that process, like I also had help from like friends, help from like therapy, help from like professionals as well, and also help from family. And it was a really interesting time of my life. But then once I got past that, then God was like, okay, now you're on the path to being ready for this man that I'm supposed to bring you together with. And so I needed to be ready for myself first before I was ready for him. I needed to love myself first before I could love him. God is not going to give you his son that you're going to break his heart, or you're going to traumatize him, or you're going to, bring some baggage from your previous relationship into this new one. God is not going to give you that person. So if you haven't properly healed during the wait, please do that. The wait is a great time to heal. The wait is a great time to find yourself. It's a great time to learn who you are and to love who you are and to trust God through your process and to listen to the Holy Spirit and to understand how God speaks to you. The wait is a great time to do all of those things. And sometimes the wait really got frustrating for me because, like I said, I was seeing another man in my dreams and I thought this man was the man for me, but then nothing was happening. And the devil came in and tried to deceive me and tried to corrupt my dreams and tried to make me believe that, this man was the man for me when he wasn't, so that I would not fulfill the purpose that God has in my life, and so that I would not get married to the right person. And that's why I always say that there's an attack on marriage in this world today, and we need to be very aware of that. And the devil tried to make me not come into my prophetic marriage with the best man that I could ever have asked for. The devil just tried. He tried it, but he never won, and he will never win. But you need to make sure that you're speaking to God through your process, seeking him, asking him questions, any questions you have. It doesn't matter if you think it's stupid. Please don't think it's stupid. Just ask God. He will answer it in due time. Okay? And he will give you what you need as well. And also, another thing that I learned was getting new skill sets as well, like focusing on my career, focusing on traveling, just focusing on the things that I love to do, focusing on self-care as well, having massages, going to the spa, taking myself out for on a date, going out with my girlfriends, just doing things that just gave me true pure joy. And I was also making sure that I was going places I was celebrated, right? Because that's so important. You cannot be in a space that allows you to not heal from all the trauma that you faced, right? So always go where you're celebrated. So for me, the wait was a time to just discover all of those things about myself. And marriage is another season. So you also have to transition into that with another person, but that will come much later when we're talking about our experiences in marriage.
Good. My wife said 3 points in 3 different sections of her own narrative of waiting for me, which is the right man for her.
Here you are.
Good. I really don't believe in coincidence. At a point in my life, I started believing that there could be coincidence. Not until I met my wife and she took me back to the roots, which is believing that there is nothing like coincidence. Now, the first point she made during the wait is she learned how to receive love. She worked on herself. And during the wait, for me, what I started working on myself on was how to receive love. Because from a childhood and from the family I came from, I believe there was enough love that was going around. So I believe that, or I know that I worked so much on myself on how to give love. That's why I tell everybody in this life, always strike a balance in whatever you're doing in life. Don't ever say I'm too busy, that I'm trying to provide for my family, that you don't have time to spend with your family. Don't ever say that you want to spend the whole time with your family, that you neglect your place of work or your career. Look for a way. You should always strike a balance.
Or if you're in ministry, don't ever say that, I have to spend all this time with God's people and not spend time with your family, because that's huge. That's a whole ministry on its own. If you can't take care of your family, you can't take care of God's people.
Even the Bible said that charity begins at home. Yeah. So whatever you're practicing out there, you should first of all do your analysis in your home. You start the work from your home. You learn from your home, your wife, your husband, your children, your siblings, before you take it outside there to the world.
That's right.
to embrace. So your first school is your home. So one very important thing I learned during my wait for my lovely and special and awesome and godly God-sent wife is I learned how to receive love. I believe that I never knew how to receive love. I only knew one side of it, which is to give love. But believe me, you have to learn how to receive love. That is one thing I learned during my wait, when I was waiting. And the second point she made is, don't just pause your life because you are waiting for your life partner or because you're waiting for a life partner. Don't pause your life. Like we said in our previous video, that the Lord will never tell you the whole step. He gives you the step one. Like when he told Abraham to sacrifice Isaac, he said sacrifice Isaac. He never told Abraham that there will be provisions there for the sacrifice. But Abraham obeyed the first instruction, which was sacrifice Isaac. So in your period of waiting, always engage yourself in productivity. Move ahead with your career, move ahead with your life from a place of joy. You understand? Invest in yourself. It's in that process of advancing you will meet people that have advanced as well. You will meet your caliber of people who you can blend life with. And please, remove every mindset that has ever told you that as a lady, that if you advance your education, you advance yourself financially, that you won't find a man, is a big lie. A friend of mine once confided in me with that because she wanted to get a car. And her parents were like, no, if you get a car, work out a man, it will be very hard for you to find it. It's a very big lie. I haven't told her to get the biggest car she could get, an SUV if possible, because if she gets an SUV, she will get caliber of men who own SUV as well. So if you upgrade your life, you also get people in your grade as well. But it's not, I'm just giving an example, it's not all about the financial resources. We're talking about intellectual, spiritual, and otherwise.
So buy that house.
Exactly.
Buy that car.
Bless you.
You know, do you.
Exactly.
You know, get that 6-figure job if you need to. You know, don't let the fact that, you know, you're not married and the fact that, you know, your parents or, you know, people around you are telling you that you shouldn't do this because a man wouldn't find you, or you know, you wouldn't be desirable for a man, or you would intimidate a man because you're getting all these things. No, do what you need to do for yourself, and the right man will come along. Honestly, the right man will come along. And the right man is not a man that will be intimidated by you and by the things that you have. So the right man will not get intimidated by you. If he does get intimidated by you, then he is not the right one for you.
Just like I said earlier, if there's any buts, just let it go. We have over how many billion human beings out there? So whatever you're searching for is out there. Just keep searching. And during the wait, there's something I learned, which is nothing that you're looking for is missing. It's only missing when you stop searching. And erase that mindset of gender roles, even in approaching whoever you like. You can be the first to negotiate or initiate the conversation. It's not written anywhere. Just like I tell people, there's no manual for marriage. There is no manual for marriage. Find out what works for you. During my wait, which my wife did the same, we went through a process called, individually without even knowing each other, called self-awareness. You have to discover who you are. Because the honest truth is that if you've not discovered who you are, you can't even know who you can be with. And she made another point before I forget that. The third point she made was, go to places you're being celebrated. Because I understand, see, honestly, for us to be honest about it, during the period of wait, many men may not be vulnerable about this. They might not say much about it, but women normally throw more light on it and they're expressive of their feelings. During the wait, it's not easy for anybody. Because you know what it means that in the world of how many billion people, you can't even find one person. Sometimes it makes you think that there's something wrong with you, but that is a valid concern. When you think there is something wrong with you, don't just sit there and think it. Don't beat yourself up. It's time to go to work. And you can only go to that work when you start loving yourself. Honest truth, the Bible said, love your neighbor as you love yourself. There is no way the Bible said love yourself. And then it first of all said, love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your resources. And the second one is like this, love your neighbor as you love yourself. That means you are meant to love yourself. So when that self-love is not there, that means there's already an underlying problem, which means you really need to go through what is called self-awareness. Sit down, evaluate yourself, whatever you don't like in yourself that is within your power to change. Put deliberate and conscious effort to change it. But the ones you cannot change, accept them and pray about them. Because with God, all things are possible. Don't minus the place of prayer in your weight and your preparation of finding a life partner. Because like you said, nobody wants a baggage. No man wants to pick up a baggage as a wife. And no woman wants to pick up a baggage as a husband. So that's why we encourage you, this is from personal experiences, as you are going through the process of waiting, advance other areas of your life, advance the content of your character, which is the utmost paramount priority in everybody's life, because that will even skyrocket you in your place of career and in marriage as well. That is what sustains marriage, which is friendship. Because when it comes to lovemaking and other things, that they are just the spices of marriage, but the main food that you eat every day in marriage is friendship. And like we've said over and over again, that effective, not just communicating, no, effective communication. Don't just pass a message. Pass a message that your message will be received in and with the context of what the message was being passed for. So effective communication, don't just say it for saying sake. Say it for understanding sake. So effective communication, we said, is the lubricant of an effective and flourishing relationship. Now the third thing he said is go to places that you will be appreciated. Misery loves company, they say. I will advise you to stay away from such companies. So when you are going through the period of waiting, what you should be doing that period, like we said, is advancing your life in other areas that matters. Spirituality, educational, intellect, career, and every other thing. So you need to be with people who are also moving in that trend, or people who already have what you are looking for. So you learn from their story, how they found what you are looking for. But for you to stay around people who will give you 500 reasons why relationship doesn't work, why marriages doesn't work, those people have condemned themselves already for a reason I do not know. So she said, go to places you are being celebrated. Those people could be your family. I don't think that's the right place for you to be at that time, because even the Bible said there is a friend that sticks closer than a brother. So look for people who will uplift you. Look for gathering of saints that will uplift you in a time like this. Not people that will give you wrong reasons, or people that will mount pressure and put you into more desperation. Because with desperation, you can never make a good decision. So in the time of wait, the best thing you should always consider in your mind is, I will never be desperate. And the only way you won't be desperate is, don't be an idle mind. Because idle mind, as they say, is a devil's workshop. So occupy your mind, learn how to give love, because some of us only know how to receive. Learn how to give, be a giver, learn how to give love, and learn how to receive love. Teach yourself with the people that's already existing around you. They could be your family members, they could be your relatives, they could be your colleagues. Learn how to, because a lot of time marriages come from recommendation. It's not because it's called marriage. Partnership in all rounds, even partnership in places of work. Because what we do in work, though you call yourself employer and employee, is partnership. Because you are giving a service and the other person is giving cash. So there's a transaction going on. All those things is either by recommendation or you apply. Make yourself available, make yourself accessible. Like I said, we met on a social media platform. Why? Because I am an actor, but I had a passion in me to share the things I've learned in my period of waiting with other people who are waiting on a platform. And as I was doing that, that platform was addressed as Dr. Love because I was sharing the love I already built in me in the process of waiting. So I need to share it with a lot of people. And as I was doing that, I was rendering service. My wife made herself available to also be on that platform. And she was not just that man there. She contributed to what was happening. You see it? And on another context, I was also trying to help my sister that is in Canada. It's none of my business how she survives there. She's in Canada, I'm in Nigeria, but I still try to help her with my platform. You see? So learn how to give love and learn how to receive love. And my wife came on that platform and she made herself available to help. That's still giving out love. She made herself available to help. And from there, we connected.
I also just want to say that you should know that even in this time and during this process, counterfeits may come. They may show up as sheep in wolf's clothing. I had a few of them in my time, honestly. But we can, make another, video talking about how to know counterfeits, how to recognize them when they come through, and what to do about them. But they will come, trust me, especially when the time is coming closer and closer. The man in my dreams that I thought was going to be my husband was actually a counterfeit. So they will come. They will show up, maybe in real life, maybe in reality, maybe in your dreams, whatever, but just make sure that you pray to God to find out more.
Then finally, I have to conclude with this. During your time of waiting, please don't cloud your head with mundane desires, because some of us have the wrong concept of marriage. I must say this and say it loud and clear. Don't jump into marriage because of your urge for sexual desires. Try and deal with your sexual desires before you go into marriage, because your partner will definitely run out of strength and might not keep up. So the earlier the better you deal with your sexual desires. It will help you uncloud your mind to make right decision on life partner. Secondly, marriage is not a financial breakthrough. It's not an avenue for you to escape from your financial struggles. Try to deal with your financial struggles practically, mentally, and resourcefully before considering marriage. It will make you make a right decision. So you won't jump into marriage because of financial desperation. So thirdly, don't let physical attraction cloud your judgment in choosing a life partner. I'm telling you the honest truth. Yes, you want the person to look like that, you want the person to look like this.
Which is very valid, by the way. Attraction is 100% valid and it matters. And you should be attracted to your partner.
100%.
110%.
Sexually attracted.
Sexually, physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally.
Extraordinarily attracted.
Yes, you should.
But what we are saying is, don't let it cloud your judgment.
Exactly.
Don't let it be the first thing to always consider. Oh, this person doesn't have a good character. Like I said, once but is there, but she's fine, but he's handsome. But don't let it cloud your sense of judgment.
Pay attention to the words coming out of their mouths. Pay attention to their character. Even when counterfeit comes, guard your heart, because this is how to know when this person is a counterfeit. When God has said, you know what, this is what I have for you, you're a queen, you know, I'm giving you everything, all the good things, and then these counterfeits will come and they will tell you all the beautiful and sweet things and tell you, you know what, this is God sending them to you, and tell you all sorts of things. But this is the time to really watch them and pay attention, and to watch their character, watch the things that is coming out of their mouths. Just watch them. Just be watchful, be vigilant, guard your heart, and protect your peace.
Exactly. And erase your mind from every false belief or teaching you've heard in the past that tells you that a man or a woman has a role in a relationship. Any role that is outside biologically constructed from the creation of earth, which is bearing a child in the womb and ejecting the child inside, unlearn that thought. So it could help you find that soulmate that you will enjoy a long-lasting, forever lifetime with.
And last but not least, please do not tell yourself that your husband must make more than you, or your wife must make more than you. It shouldn't matter. What should matter should be the content of their character, how resourceful they are, how kind they are, how God-fearing they are, how self-aware they are. And you know, what should matter the most should be you hearing from God before going into any relationship or any marriage.
Exactly. We'll talk more on our forthcoming videos on how to hear from God, because that's a very vital one. Anybody that does not have the fear of God, they can do anything. They have no boundaries. That's why I tell people that the fundamental thing you should be looking for in any partner is God-fearing. Let the person know God. Let the person have the fear of God. Because imagine someone that has no boundary. I don't fear God, I don't respect God. They can do and undo. They can do and undo. It's only God that keeps us in check a lot of times. What builds trust in marriage, what builds trust in relationship is knowing that my partner does not know, my partner will never know, my partner can never find out, but just that God knows I wouldn't do this.
And because you love God, you wouldn't do it. It's not like a religious thing. It's just you love God and you don't want to do anything to hurt him. And that's where it's at.
Yeah, that's why I say we've grown to a level where we love God than we fear God. We love him. So because of that, we want to keep our relationship with God. We want to nourish it. We want to always let our relationship with God flourish. So we love him. We love him.
That concludes our session for today. Thank you so much, guys. We love you.
Mwah.
And remember,
like, subscribe, and share. Hit the notification button. And stay tuned to Ife and OKEY'S Love channel. God bless you all.